Hey guys, Renkai-san here. We are so used to having things as they originally are that when we see ripoffs based on those products it feels weird. And let me be honest with you. Sometimes your parents can't always afford the real thing. So that's why on some mornings, instead of watching Saturday morning cartoons with a bowl of Frosted Flakes, that bowl of Frosted Flakes is now a bowl of corn sugar. Get what I'm saying? So going by each category, let me show you what these ripoffs have to offer in each department. We'll start with one of the most common ripoff categories, the TV shows. And first we have The Legend of Lucky Pie. The Legend of Lucky Pie is a 2015 Chinese animated series where a pony named Lucky and an anthropomorphic owl named Ah Pie go on adventures. While some praised its art style and story, some couldn't help but notice that the plot sounded very similar to Adventure Time. Next is Sanjay and Craig, the 2013 show where an Indian boy, named Sanjay Patel, gets into all types of shenanigans with his snake named Craig, and this Nickelodeon show may have copied its plot from Cartoon Network's very own regular show. Next is Coconut Fred. Coconut Fred follows the adventures of a talking coconut named Fred. The show shares many similarities to SpongeBob SquarePants when it comes to its tropical themes and type of humor. Next is Forget About It. Forget About It follows a mob boss named Jimmy Falcone and his family that moved to Oakdale, which is much slower than the crime-ridden life he had in New York. The show shares similarities to Family Guy through its family of 5. Jimmy is Peter Griffin, Anthony is Chris Griffin, Cookie is Lois Griffin, Teresa is Meg Griffin, Gina is practically the female Stewie, and Uncle Cheech is who I assume to be Carter Pewterschmidt. Just speculation though. Next is this Simpsons Georgian ripoff, which I'm not even gonna try to pronounce because I will butcher it. It's pretty clear which character is who if you've seen the original show, but instead of a dog, this family has a parrot. Next is Block 13. This may be the Arabic ripoff of South Park, but don't let that fool you from the fact that this is less violent than that show is. It's also their answer to South Park being banned in that country. And when it comes to the 4 boys from this show, they obviously are very similar to the 4 boys from that show. Next is Bakugan. Its premise along sounds like it was ripped straight from the rulebook of Pokemon. Each person uses a device similar to a Pokeball to summon a creature to do battle with. Instead of Pokeballs though, this show uses 3 different devices, ranging from the Baku Pod, the Gauntlet and the Baku Meter. Next is Total Drama Island. It's the animated Survivor with a similar premise. Each person who participates has to do their best to survive on the island through many different challenges that the host will put them through, and at the end of every day on the island, one contestant will be sent home and eliminated. Unlike Survivor however, Total Drama has a chef, whereas the people on Survivor would have to make do with the food they can find. Next is Miracle Star, the Chinese ripoff of The Amazing World of Gumball, which follows an anthropomorphic goat and his family, which includes his talking frog, his parents and his sister. Responding to reports that this show was stealing elements from its show, Gumball made the 2 families confront each other in the episode named The Copycats. And they stopped airing the show not too long after that happened. And lastly for this category, we have Too Loud. Too Loud follows the adventures of 2 big-headed and loud kids who are sister and brother, their names being Jeffrey and Sarah. Jeff's character design shares similarities with the design of Lincoln Loud, which made people think it was a Loud House ripoff. Now we're moving on to ripoff movies, starting with What's Up. What's Up clearly is the ripoff of the more well-received movie Up, where apparently Carl is racist in this version. Not to mention that the animation looks cheap and horrible, which goes for a lot of these animated ripoffs. Next we have 5 ripoffs of Finding Nemo, those being Finding Jesus, Izzy's Way Home, The Reef, Under the Sea Adventures and A Turtle's Tale. These are all based on the premise of the sea creature trying to find its way home, with each having their own unique characteristics. Finding Jesus, as you may have guessed, is the religious version of this movie. It also shows fish getting chopped in half for some reason. My god, I thought this was a kids movie. Izzy's Way Home has a female lead similar to the premise of Finding Dory. The Reef is where their version of Nemo falls in love with another fish, which doesn't happen in the original movie, and A Turtle's Tale swaps the main role of the fish out with a turtle. Next are 3 ripoffs of Kung Fu Panda, those being Chop Kick Panda, The Little Panda Fighter and The Prodigy. And for that last one, I am not referring to the band who made The Fat of the Land. Each follow a premise of a panda training to become a warrior, with each taking it in a different direction than its predecessor did. Chop Kick Panda has the one that looks the most like that movie's protagonist, Po. The Little Panda Fighter incorporates a breathing exercise the master teaches him. and the Prodigy is the only one that has humans in it. Next is Ratatouille, the ripoff of Ratatouille. Both center around a cooking rat who must prepare meals in order to impress his human customers. A few differences between the two films are that there is now a female rat character and the restaurant is set in Rio de Janeiro, a city in Brazil, whereas the restaurant in that movie was set in Paris, France. Next are two ripoffs of the Bee Movie, those being Plan B and Little Bee. Both are about a bee's everyday life, the main differences between the two being that one has the bees working for a queen and one has the main character wanting to be a soldier. Next is Toppy Toes, a ripoff of Happy Feet. Both movies are about a penguin who learns that he is great at tap dancing. And it seems like the other penguins take advantage of that, except in this movie, they do it to get him a girlfriend and to stop an evil crab. Next is Pinocchio, a true story, which is practically like the original premise of Pinocchio except our main character is unnecessarily zesty for some reason. Just listen to how he says his lines.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see.
Next is Hedgehogs, which is the most obvious Sonic ripoff I've ever seen. After that are two Toy Story ripoffs, those being the hero of Color City and Toys Going Wild. Both rely on the premises of toys coming to life. The first one does that but with crayons and the second one does it using superhero action figures. And lastly for this category, we have the Amazing Bulk, which you should get what this is a ripoff of without me having to say the name.
My life is like a video game, trying hard to beat the stage.
Moving on to rip-off video games, which are harder to come by than the last two categories, but it isn't impossible. There's hundreds of Mario rip-offs on the internet, but I don't feel like covering all of them. If you want to see a good chunk of them covered, check out this video by Luca G5. But to name a few of them, there's Cat Mario, Unfair Mario and Jelly Mario. Next are a few Mario Kart rip-offs I would like to talk about as well, those being M&M's Kart Racing, Garfield Kart Furious Racing and Warped Kart Racers. All of these are practically Mario Kart except they have their own universe's roster of characters to play from. Next are three ripoffs of Smash Bros. There are more but these are all that I felt like covering. These games are the short-lived Multiverses, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl and PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Same with the Mario Kart roster. Same premise, different roster. If you want a full look into the PlayStation Smash Bros. Ripoff then you should watch Chasington's video on it. Next is Injustice, which is clearly a Mortal Kombat ripoff. And then there are the three out of several Minecraft ripoffs I want to talk about, those being Pixel Gun 3D, Cube World and Craft World. Each have their own sandbox elements where you can build whatever you want with major differences in each of them. The first one is the game is Minecraft but if it was a shooter, the second one is that but if it was an RPG instead, and the third one is where you specifically build houses. Next is Rec Room, which is like Roblox except you can record music in the game. The character avatars and facial expressions look very similar to that game as well. Next is Build Now GG, which is a Fortnite ripoff. Following that are what I believe to be two GTA ripoffs, those being The Simpsons Hit and Run and Grand Gangsters. In both, you can do any crime imaginable as long as you don't get caught. Hit and Run implements that with Simpsons characters and Grand Gangsters does that with more vehicle selections. Next are two Legend of Zelda ripoffs, those being Blossom Tales and Okami. The two main characteristics of the first Legend of Zelda game are your ability to defeat enemies using your sword and going on many quests. Both of these games utilize a different aspect from the same game, where Blossom Tales relies on the combat and Okami relies on the puzzles and quests. Next is Enchanted Portals, which gained heavy criticism from being a Cuphead ripoff, especially in its run and gun gameplay and its cartoonish bosses. The game isn't good at all, so if you thought about purchasing it from Steam, do not go through with that decision. Next are two ripoffs of the popular mobile game Subway Surfers, those being Train Run and the Talking Tom spin-off named Gold Run. Both games have the same premise. Jump on top of vehicles to make your way across. Except in Gold Run, your objective is to catch a thief named Roy Raccoon in order to get your money back. And lastly, to close out this category, we're staying on the topic of mobile games with this ripoff of Temple Run being one I can't even say. Just know that instead of a white man running from a gorilla, you're a black man running from the KKK. Moving on to food place ripoffs now, I'll try to get through these ones a little quicker. This is every single KFC ripoff that forms the alphabet, excluding the letter K. I'm not going through all of them obviously, just a few. The AFC is the All Fried Chicken, the JFC is the Jones Fried Chicken, the OFC is the Ohio Fried Chicken and the UFC is the Universal Fried Chicken. There are two 7-Eleven ripoffs, those being 7-Eleven and the unfortunately named 9-Eleven. Then there are all the Starbucks ripoffs including Sunbucks, Stars, Sitar Bucks, Starfucks, Star Preya, Stars and Bucks, Buckstar and Starbucks. Next are a bunch of McDonald's ripoffs I'll be going through. These are McKebab, Hot Dog Nulds, McCurry, McDragons, Colinat, Mini Dog, McDuck, Maro Canned, Mash Donalds, Mr. Mahmood, Mike Wong and Michael Alone. Next are 4 Subway ripoffs, those being Fresh Way, Sub Day, Sandwich and Sunny Day. Following that is the Pizza Hut ripoff named Pizza Hut along with 5 Burger King ripoffs, those being Burger Next, Burger Bing, Burger Queen, Burger Friends and King Burger. And to close out this category is the Dunkin' Donuts ripoff named Donkey Donuts.
Ran up on the plug, he was shouting out a brick. Front door, back door.
Next are the brand ripoffs that we're also going over quickly. There's the Nutella ripoff named Nutmaster, all of the Oreo ripoffs with those being Cream Betweens, Twist and Shout, Crunchy Roundies, Coco, Ohio, Borneo, Neo, Mario's Best, Black Power, Creamos, Who Knew, Eat the Middle, Okie Dokie and Boreo, all of the M&M ripoffs including Nutters, H&H, S&M's and Melox and the Doritos ripoff named Ditos. In continuation to that, we have most of the Dr. Pepper ripoffs with there being Dr. Perky, Dr. Bob, Dr. Wright and Dr. Skipper. There's the Cinnamon Toast Crunch ripoffs with those being Bunch O Cinnamon Squares, Cinnamon Crunch and Cinnamon Toasters. The Lucky Charms ripoffs which are Marshmallows and Stars, Magic Shapes, Marshmallow Mateys and Hocus Pocus. The Cheez-It ripoffs which include the discontinued Cheese Nips and the Cheese Bits. The Goldfish ripoff named Whales. The Nerds ripoff named Dweebs. The Kit Kat ripoffs named Cat Caught, Take It and Dido and the Crunch ripoff named Break. We're almost at the end here so bear with us. Following those are all the Adidas ripoffs with those being Adidas, Didasa, AIDS, Adidas, Abibas, Dieds, Makba, Sports, Abibos, Absids, Adivor, Estidsa, Abibag, Wandanu, Zinnertai and Adios, the Microsoft ripoff named Microsoft Bimbos, these sketchy looking Jordans, the Reebok ripoff named Reddit, 3 Nike ripoffs which are Mike, Hike and NKIE, the North Face's ripoff being the Big Mountain, the Gucci ripoffs being Bucci, Coochie and 69, Nice, and the Supreme ripoffs being Sperm, Syrup, Surprise and Bon Vivant. Moving on to our final category and the shortest one, we have 2 miscellaneous ripoffs, both being backpacks. First one is this Sonic Obama Harry Potter backpack and the second one is this Super Mario Captain America backpack. And that is every ripoff I could find. If I missed any, let me know in the comments below. And if you have a ripoff of a certain thing that I didn't mention with its other ripoffs, let me know about that as well. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Bye.